Let's talk about the life of a godman that our country is blessed to have today, Jaggi Vasudev, or as he is popularly known as Sadguru. In case you live under a rock and don't know who he is, well, it's this guy. Jaggi Vasudev is a motorbike riding, golf playing, English speaking, cryptic advice giving, dimension expanding, self styled godman. Pratik Goyal, my colleague here at Newslaundry, has done a gigantic investigation into who this man is, where he came from, how he managed to gain prominence, and then, as all godmen kind of do, did some illegal stuff on the side to make obscene amounts of money and raise a spiritual empire. So let me quickly take you through the main points of this investigation. How Jaggi's Isha Foundation built a 150-acre campus in an ecologically sensitive area without necessary permissions, and a little bit about his nifty trick of taking donations while not paying taxes on it. But first, like every interesting character, here is his origin story. The year is 1974. A guru named Rishi Prabhakar devised Siddha Samadhi Yoga in Bengaluru. A young Jaggi Vasudev came to him in Mysore and said, "Teach me, sensei. Teach me your ways, O great one." He learned this form of yoga. In 1986, after his training, Rishi Prabhakar sent Jaggi to Coimbatore to set up an institution on his behalf. But Jaggi allegedly separated from him and started his form of yoga called Isha Yoga, purportedly inspired by the Samadhi Yoga. In 1992, he set up the Isha Foundation. This foundation is kind of a rabbit hole. More on that later. Now we come to 1997, where Chennai-based Tamil weekly magazine Ananda Vikatan started a spiritual column called Manase Relax Please, Relax Your Mind, by one Swami Sukhabodhananda. From 2004, Jaggi Vasudev wrote for their second spiritual series, which translates to Wishes for Everyone. He wrote well and gained more readership. In 2007, he started his own magazine. Now, around the same time, something interesting happened. Jaggi met M. Karunanidhi, the then Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. Their new relationship was clear when the very atheist Chief Minister participated in a tree plantation drive organized by Isha Foundation in September 2007 at Chennai's Anna University. Jaggi gained a nice foothold in the political circles of Tamil Nadu. Now we come to 2008. Jaggi got a Sunday half-an-hour show on Star Vijay based on his old column where he chatted about spirituality, social issues, dimensions, etc. with Tamil celebrities from different fields. Thus, he gained a foothold among celebrities of the South. In 2010, his Isha Foundation launched a new show called In Conversation with a Mystic, where he would do the same with Bollywood celebrities. By the way, they turned this into a ticketed event with a sit-in audience. His latest public adventure is with Big FM, where he has a show. Right, now let's talk about Jaggi Vasudev's Isha Foundation. This is a foundation that has centers across India and even the world and claims to have a network of 4,600 full-time volunteers and 9 million part-time volunteers. The biggest of these centers is the Isha Foundation headquarters at Ikkarai Boluvampatti in the foothills of Veliangiri Hills situated in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu. That's a mouthful. This particular campus has been riddled with allegations of illegal constructions, harming forests and wildlife. You see, this campus is located adjacent to the Bolampatti Reserve Forest, which is an elephant habitat. It has an elephant migration corridor where human activities have been banned. In the past 15-20 years, animal-man conflict in the area has been on the rise because of construction and a rush of devotees to this center. This campus thing is bhari murky. In 2012, a forest ranger called M.S. Parthipan visited the campus and found that Isha had illegally erected buildings, walls and electric fences. They were forcing elephants out of natural corridors and into Adivasi settlements, trampling crops and attacking villagers. The allegation is that Isha Foundation carried out construction activities on more than 6,300 square meters and created an artificial lake on another 1,400 square meters without the permission of Hill Area Conservation Authority, HACA, which was set up to protect the ecologically sensitive areas like this one. Now Vasudev said that he got permission to build on 32,845 square kilometers from the local panchayat, but they are not authorized to give such permissions. So yeah. What's more, they built a 112-foot Adiyogi statue there without necessary clearances. In 2017, this was inaugurated by none other than Honorable Pradhan Sevak / Prime Minister Shri Adarniya Narendra Modi ji. He has his own dimension. In the same year, the Comptroller and Auditor General (CAG) asked Haka and Isha Foundation why they allowed this construction without approval. There's a lot more to this story, and I recommend you read Pratik's piece on our website. He has gathered all the documents and relevant evidence, then created a timeline of how this campus came up after multiple legal violations. Bit by bit, illegal building by illegal building. Oh yeah, and on one occasion while interacting with students in Nalsar University, Jaggi was questioned about all of this. And this happened.
A lot of the infrastructure of the Isha Foundation has been built on elephant corridors,
Really?
something which both the National Green Tribunal as well as the High Courts have admitted to without the requisite permissions. We tell you this goes against rule of law, which you stand for. This goes against living in harmony with species, both of which you've spoken right here at Nalsar. So if you could clarify regarding that.
There are some activists who are going on publishing this endlessly. You're reading that social media is trash and you're coming to conclusions. Anyway, I want you to know, today if I want, by tomorrow evening, I can file 100 cases against you, all kinds of things. It's for you to come out of it in the next 20 years. This is the country you're living in. I want you to know.
Damn. I mean, for a man who preaches spirituality and patience and yada yada, threatening to file cases against a young student is kind of uncharacteristic. Just saying. Speaking of legal threats, Newslaundry is not afraid of repercussions after doing this story. You know why? Because we are funded by you, our lovely subscribers and readers. You power our journalism so that amazing people like Pratik Goyal can take on powerful men like Jaggi Vasudev. Thank you for imposing your faith on us and your hard-earned money. Subscribe. Moving on to Jaggi Vasudev's business interests. The Isha Foundation sells a lot of things. For instance, this glorious wooden box which is worth 5,810 rupees. No idea why, but fun. Other than this fancy e-commerce portal which sells everything from jewelry to dosa mix to miniature statues, here are some of the other companies. Isha Foods and Spices, Isha Crafts, Isha Naturo Organic Solutions, Uzavan Agro Solutions, Trishul Foundations, Trishul Shelters, Krishi Land Farms, Isha Arogya, Isha Institute of Inner Sciences. What? Anyway. Isha Life Research Foundation, Isha Life Fitness System, Isha Capital, Isha Beauty Products and Wellness. Amazing. According to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Isha Foundation earned a total of 117 crore rupees in 2019 and 2020 from all of these. Other than these divine products, Jaggi Vasudev also sells, well, himself, or at least access to himself anyway. If you have 50 lakh rupees lying around somewhere, then you can give it to Isha Foundation for a jaunt around the Kailash Mansarovar, and Jaggi ji himself will come along with you. But if you are not that rich, which I guess everybody, there are some cheaper versions. You can give 5.5 lakh rupees and travel in a group of 30, or 2.7 lakh rupees to travel in a group of 60. That's not all. For 12 lakh rupees, you can go on a 12-day motorcycle ride with him in the Himalayas. What fun! Oh, and in case you're wondering who the hell pays for this stuff, well, in 2021, right before the second wave hit, 17 groups of 60 each had booked the 2.75 lakh package, 4 groups took a special 3.45 lakh package, and 2 booked the 5.5 lakh package. Yeah, you do the math. Jaggi Vasudev also hosts fun Mahashivratri events which have tickets costing 50,000 to 2.5 lakh. And here's the most important thing. Isha Foundation probably pays no tax on any of this. Why? Because Isha Foundation is registered as a public charitable trust. Their social development wing, Isha Outreach, is exempt under 80G of the Income Tax Act. Jaggi Vasudev's Isha Foundation Inc. is registered in the United States and shows a net income of 56.43 crore rupees in 2018. That's as per the IRS records. Of this, it says about 35 crore came from donations. There are no public records of the foundation's revenues in India, but it claims that the donations or contributions, as it prefers to describe such transactions, account for a considerable chunk. In Prateek's story, he lists many instances of how this works. For instance, Nagappan Gautam bought a product from the foundation for 14,000 rupees. A few months later, they sent him a receipt for a random amount of 1,242 rupees, saying it's a donation for the foundation, and opened up new dimensions, of course. Multiple court cases on Jaggi and his foundation are languishing in courts and haven't come up for hearing for years. One person, Shankar, also filed a complaint with the income tax in 2018. He got a call back immediately and he told the department that he'll provide detailed evidence. But for 3 years after that, Shankar hasn't heard back from them. We have included this evidence in our piece. Do give it a read. It's quite something. Links to all 3 of Newslaundry's investigation into this self-styled godman and his empire are in the description below. By the way, this was part of our NL Sena project called On a Godman's Trail, which was funded by 155 of our readers. And the interesting thing is, when we were raising funds for this project, we did not even reveal which godman we were going to investigate. Our readers had faith that we'd do a good job, no matter which bearded dude we were going to investigate, and we have tried to do just that. Now go grab a cup of coffee, sit back and read these 3 stories. And share it with your friends and family. Change their dimensions and life.